Showing up is living life authentically. I'm Nancy Regan. I'm on a mission to connect with fascinating people who are contributing to the world around them in dynamic ways, making it a little better, brighter, or more beautiful. Join me for the journey. Today I'm showing up in a place of deep creativity. In fact, it used to be an old fish hatchery plant. Now it's home to an incredible collection of Indigenous art from across the country. But it's much more than a gallery. It's an idea, it's an initiative, it's a community. Friends United is also a powerful act of reconciliation. Friends United has a vital mission to support Indigenous artists on their artistic, spiritual, and entrepreneurial journeys. That support has taken many forms, from the repurposing of a former fish hatchery plant into this magnificent gallery and gathering space, to showcasing and preserving Indigenous culture, traditions, heritage, and art. Artists are supported from start to finish here, from sourcing supplies, whether that be canvas, paint, tools, or even enormous ancient red cedar logs from BC, to creating web-based businesses. Breathing life into both recycled and new materials, Indigenous artists tell their stories and share their cultures through intricate carvings, vibrant paintings, and through oral history. So much of this initiative is about connection, connecting the world to this extraordinary artwork, facilitating an opportunity for the artists to connect to their own culture and heritage, and connecting these creative individuals to each other in community. Through the Artists in Residence program, artists can live and create right here at the Friends United International Convention Center in Unama'ki, Cape Breton. Today, 3 artists are in residence: Jasyn Lucas, Loretta Gould, and Schweig. Jasyn grew up in Manitoba and is a member of the Matthias Colomb Cree Nation. His imagination has long been stoked by the Northern Lights, and his work is fueled by their symbolism and spirituality. Loretta Gould, from the Wakaba First Nation, has become a prominent Mi'kmaq artist in recent years, with large-scale images of her paintings now featured at Nova Scotia's Stanfield International Airport. Previously well known as a quilter, the amazing support she's received from Friends United helped encourage her to start painting, and the rest is history. Born in Inuvik, Northwest Territories, Schweig is an Inuit carver who's known for his spirit masks. But he's also branched out into carving totem poles and knives. If he looks familiar, you may have seen him on a big screen. He's also a Hollywood actor. Among his more than 20 credits, a memorable role in The Last of the Mohicans, opposite Daniel Day-Lewis. Walking into this building feels like coming home to me. And I remember years ago when I walked through the door for the first time and was absolutely shocked by the beauty and energy that I was met with. Rolf Bouman is a German immigrant to Canada whose passion for Indigenous art has fueled this initiative. Over the years, he's become a friend. There's a sense of déjà vu.
Oh, we meet again so many times.
So many times. And I am so anxious to share your story. And it's important to go back and start at the beginning and say, how did this whole story begin?
Well, there's so many different segments to it. I know in school I read Carl May, who talked about Indigenous people in North America. It's a novel. So I was always very intrigued by Indigenous people and the stories. And then, of course, I came to Canada and I started developing land, and the question came up sooner or later, do Indigenous people own this land or not? Because they have been here for such a long time, right? So after many discussions, we thought, I thought, all of us, if we buy and sell land and we develop it, which we really do, we should give back. And so, as you know, for such a long time we have developed land, and we try to, whenever we can, put money from those companies back into Indigenous projects. And that's really how that started.
How did the idea for Friends United come about?
I think once my life was pretty stressful, so I just started buying art from Indigenous people, and I saw it helped them a lot. And then it just went on going. I saw they needed supplies, we gave them supplies. Everything they needed really came together then.
It's amazing what you've accomplished in under 20 years.
And I can tell you from experience, anybody who comes through this building, they leave with a different mindset. They always do. Because how can you not admire the incredible talent and gift and craftsmanship Indigenous people have when they're being given a chance, right?
So little would you guess from looking at the outside of the building that inside what you find is this amazing architectural space that is filled with the most beauty you've ever seen in one place. Rolf!
Nancy, how are you?
How are you? I hug you, but you've got your hands full.
Oh, no.
What have you got there?
Good to see you. Another painting that Jasyn did. I want to talk about it because he's in there in the workshop. I want to check things out.
Oh.
He has painted this for a week, I think, and, well, he can explain. Are you coming with me?
I'm dying to talk to him about it because it's kind of a departure from some of his work. After you.
Thank you.
Oh, the place looks fantastic. Jasyn and I met here several years ago and formed a fast friendship, and it's been so exciting for me to watch him online grow as an artist and a person. I've always been captivated by Jasyn's paintings of the Northern Lights. It's like he really brings them to life. But now his art is evolving in a whole new direction. Oh, the place looks fantastic.
Oh, yeah, much has happened the last 6 months, and especially since Jasyn started painting different. Oh, there he is. Jasyn, brother, how are you, man?
I'm good, man. How's it going?
Jasyn!
How's it going?
I knew we had to come when you were here.
Right?
Yeah. I've only seen you on Facebook for far too long. This is making me very excited, and I've only seen it through the plastic
Oh my
so
gosh,
far.
yeah. Bring it on over here.
Bring it over there.
Yeah.
I'm so amazed. I saw it this morning. It was in the workshop.
Like, it's so different. From my perspective, it's really exciting. It feels like a whole new direction. Wow. This is such a departure from what I've seen Jasyn do before. I'm kind of overwhelmed. I'm here at Friends United, and I'm hanging out with my amazing friend, Jasyn Lucas. Jasyn grew up in Manitoba and is a member of the Matthias Colomb Cree Nation. Through the Artists in Residence program, artists can live and create right here at the Friends United International Convention Center in Unama'ki, Cape Breton.
What makes it really powerful, which Rolf was talking about the other day, there's something about this implied space. Because their gaze is directed over this way, where there's a lot of room to breathe, it almost implies that the painting is actually way over here as well, right? So all that's kind of planned out, well, I wouldn't say like way before, but as I go, I keep those things in mind, right? Where they're looking, because often just thinking about what they're looking at or what they're dreaming about, even though there's so much here, there's also so much else off the canvas, right?
It's like, it hits me, seriously. It makes me emotional.
Oh, well,
it's
that's
like
good.
there's... What I realized in this moment is that paintings are not just a visual art. Like, it's the energy that comes from them and through you that is so much a part of the experience. And this one knocked me off my feet. I love the fire, the air, the water feel, but also, I don't know, something about it is like this embodied anger.
Well, you're feeling emotions right now. You're probably, because what you're feeling right now is what has gone into it, and it is that. It's the embodiment of me, all my struggles, all my triumphs, they come out in that. So when I'm doing those expressive things, you can feel that. Eagle means love in Cree culture. The bear means courage in Cree culture. So these are two themes that I've really had to zero in on, right? To be courageous enough to get out there, regardless of the barriers that we face. It's not just so much about Canada. Yes, we're doing this, of course, like we have to in our country, but she had mentioned that this is something that we're all really longing for in terms of, on the world stage, is love, right? Because that is pretty much the answer. And it took so many years to realize that, because of the struggle loving myself fully, right? When you're going through all those things, struggling to find identity. So, and a lot of us are doing that. But thankfully, through this, we can kind of deal with that a lot better.
That was beautiful. Like, really, it came out and reached out and maybe grabbed my heart.
That's
and
nice, yeah.
that is the greatest compliment. You know,
Oh
when
my gosh,
someone
yeah.
stands in front of a painting and it just kind of hits you in the heart.
Yes, oh my gosh. I don't think that feeling ever gets old. I think that's why I continue to do this. It's such a great medicine for me to see that response.
Is it a weird question to ask? How has art been therapy for you in your own healing and your journey, evolution as a person?
That's a good question. Art has always been there, and it's always been my medicine. It's always intrigued me, and I've always been very interested in it. And having everybody else so interested in supporting me too has made it even more interesting. But growing up, I felt displaced a lot because I was struggling to find my identity. The older I got, I realized that I was missing my mom because I didn't get to meet her, and she passed away. I was missing my dad, he passed away. I was missing a lot of things that were making me just not forget about them, but ignore them.
Like pieces of the puzzle that were missing.
Pieces of the puzzle, yeah, but the whole time I was painting. So I see that growth, and I'm excited about that because I take art a little bit serious because I had to, you know, to survive. So what's really great about it is the message behind my art is always to preserve our natural resources in a sustainable and healthy way. And I've always done that from the start because I knew that I needed something that would be stress-free and bring myself peace, but also the viewers peace. So I'm really happy that I could look back and go, gosh, even though you're so frantic and kind of sad and upset with a lot of the social and political stuff in terms of your story, your core work was guided by your medicine people, the Northern Lights, our ancestors. These are messages that I get through my daydreams and my night dreams, and they've always been there for me. And I can feel that they're constantly coming in. So I didn't realize it, but I've always had this incredible army of support that you can't see that's been here for me. And I've really needed that because I've done a lot of my journey alone, so yeah.
This is so different for me to see this all brushwork.
Right.
And then I know over here you've got some of, this is what I'm more used to seeing with you, where all the background is airbrush, right?
Yes, for example, like this. Then I'll go in and I'll paint just the black silhouette. And then, excuse my reach here.
Yeah, go for it.
Usually I would do like, say, one color at a time and just kind of do layers. Like, oh, I'll do the blue, let it dry a bit, and then I'll do like a mid color and then work to the highlights. But lately, I've been doing the more painterly stuff because, I don't know, it's just been speaking to me lately, being a little bit more hands-on. So rather than just doing one kind of color at a time, lately I've been kind of risking it a bit and taking my brush and going, okay, I'll put some blue here, and then maybe some blue in the middle, and then maybe some green like that, right?
As a recovering perfectionist, I'm like,
and then I'm like, okay, so, and then that's how I'll do my,
wow.
so the paint just starts to kind of do whatever it wants on its own, which is really awesome. And I'm like, usually I'm such a, like, almost like a control, I like to have control of things, but referring back to the kind of more expressive way of being more of an expressionist in terms of painting and almost abstract, like with the background, not worrying about what it's gonna look like, right? Because I really don't when I throw it down. And usually it turns out pretty cool, and if not, it's like, whatever.
I think what I really like is here, people reconnect and people evolve, and their style evolves and their messages. And Nancy's been there so many times, and she sees, of course, every time what's new. It's a very rewarding experience every time.
But yeah, the great thing about paint is you can always paint over it. So try it. Dip it in your dark one, and then in the mid one, and then in a lighter one, and see what happens.
Okay, Jasyn Lucas wants me to contribute to his work of art. That's so intimidating. It feels like the idea of putting graffiti on a masterpiece.
Okay, in the middle, and then a little bit of the turquoise.
There you go. Nice, see? Beauty. Now blend it into mine a little bit, because then we'll actually be collaborating. Look at that. You're in, you're hired.
Wow.
I love it.
I think this place does two things. It very much facilitates peace and the conversation about reconciliation. But not just that, I still see a lot of prejudice in Canada towards Indigenous people. And I think once you've been here, that prejudice is gone. I've seen it many times.
I can't imagine a richer way to spend time than hanging out with Jasyn and getting to add a sliver of a contribution to his work of art. But next I'm going to share with you a larger contribution Jasyn has made to Friends United. I'm here at Friends United in Unama'ki, Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. This place has been described by a former national chief as the most amazing collection of Indigenous art in the country. And I get to hang out with the incredible artists who make it happen, including Jasyn Lucas, who made this. Okay, so this is a must-stop on our tour because this is honestly my favorite thing to show people at Friends United. I feel like a 10-year-old when I'm so excited to reveal this. Look, and it keeps going and it keeps going. Look at that beauty.
Wow.
By Jasyn Lucas.
That doesn't get old.
Jasyn, I feel like I'm sitting here and I'm on a rock looking at this scene, and it couldn't be more peaceful. Sometimes I walk through an art gallery and I'm guilty of really just looking at the paintings in a perfunctory way. But that's very hard to do at Friends United, and this masterpiece is a great example because of its scale. How powerful is it to just sit in front of it and immerse myself in it, not only seeing it, but feeling it. Loretta Gould from the Wakaba First Nation has become a prominent Mi'kmaq artist in recent years. Hi, Loretta.
Hi, how you doing?
Great to see you again. You really are hard at work. Loretta is awesome. She's a phenomenal painter, but she's also a great example to all of us that you can discover a passion later in life that becomes a true purpose. This is interesting. This is a bit of a departure for you, it feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm into spray paint now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the background for spray paint.
Okay. Well, I love your story in relation to how you started into art. If we look way up, oh my gosh. So that is the most extraordinary quilt. And that's what you were known for a long time, right?
Yeah. For 15 years, I did quilts.
So tell me about what you're working on here, because knowing your work, I've seen so much of it, I feel like, oh, this is a new feeling. It's there's an evolution or something.
Well, the backgrounds I was getting bored with. Like these kind of backgrounds. I'm kind of like bored with them right now.
Yeah.
So I try to come up with something different. So this is all just one color. It's about maybe this color here. And then I used the spray paint to add different colors to it.
And tell us about what you're doing.
I am working on the bees right now, and I just little tiny details I do. Every painting that I do has little details.
And what do the bees mean to you?
Bees are associated with my last name, and that's Google, or my ancestry. Bees were part of life cycle. And in order for us to get, sweet stuff, there has to be bees involved. And that's what our ancestors did, was get bees and, harvest their honey.
I'm curious to know if you can put into words what Friends United has meant to you. How has it changed your life, maybe?
It changed drastically, to be honest. There's not a lot of kids that message me and ask me how I got where I'm at today. And I always tell them, we all have hands, and we all just got to practice. And I wasn't always this good. And you will get to that spot. And that's what I tell kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
There must be something about seeing their eyes light up.
Yeah, and it's not just kids' eyes that light up. There's some people that cry just looking at my pieces. And it touches them. And that's when they say, no, I need that piece, kind of thing.
Catching up with Loretta and Jasyn has been amazing, but like every visit to Friends United, there's always so much more than you expect. And it's not just the talent and craftsmanship that you see here. You see and feel the heart and soul of the artists.
I always felt that Indigenous people are and can be a culture ambassador for the family, the village, the tribe, their people in general, the province in Canada and the world. And I mean, quite frankly, that's what you have here, right? And so we're very happy to be able to accommodate that in any way, form, and shape we can.
I can't wait to introduce you to Eric Schweig. He is a carver, but he's also a Hollywood actor, and he can be intimidating to some, but I know he's a gentle giant. And then I'll have the privilege to sit in on a sacred ceremony that most people will never get to witness.